Conversations about suicide can be very hard to have.
In order to make those conversations even a little bit easier, the Utah Department of Human Services created the state's first ever LGBTQ Suicide Prevention Plan. Fox 13's Diego Romo has more.
Utah ranks in the top 10 states across the entire country for suicide deaths. And for members of the LGBTQ community within the state, the rates are even higher. In order to help prevent suicide, the Utah Department of Human Services drafted the state's first ever LGBTQ Suicide Prevention Strategic Plan.
The fact that this is even happening, it really speaks volumes to, okay, we see that there's a crisis, let's do what we can, to lower those numbers.
The Utah Pride Center says one of the key factors in suicide prevention within the LGBTQ community is access to quality healthcare services.
Not just access to healthcare, but access to healthcare that understands this community and their needs and can work with them and treat them in a respectful way when they come into their centers and their clinics.
Because conversations about mental health can carry a stigma, another goal of the plan is to encourage talks among family, friends, and the community. Nick Arteaga says that a simple check-in with a friend could prevent the worst from happening.
Just checking in on your friends, saying hello to strangers, it'll make someone's day to be seen like that and acknowledged.
The plan details steps that organizations or individual community members can take to help prevent suicides within the LGBTQ community.
And it's like, okay, well, what can I do to help? Oh, I can take some training, I can help with messaging, I can put suicide prevention resources in my office, things like that.
In a statement, the Utah Department of Human Services said, quote, "This plan is about the state, with community organizations, lawmakers, and advocates putting concerns into actions to specifically prevent suicide among this group with the goal of saving lives." Ultimately, for Nick Arteaga, just having people simply talk about the issue of suicide makes a huge difference.
Me being a queer, non-binary, trans-masculine person of color, I'm especially, a marginalized person, and so being able to have programs and just people talking about suicide and mitigating that stigma around it's like steps in the right direction, and it feels really good to be validated that way.
The Utah Pride Center says suicide prevention begins with education. You can find a link to the prevention plan at fox13now.com. At the Utah Pride Center in Salt Lake City, Diego Romo, Fox 13 News, Utah.